Welcome everyone to round 10 of the V8 Supercar official online series presented by Iracing.com, Direct Clutch Services and Extreme Sim Gear. Jay Kennedy and Stephen Sandman Clark joining you here from Mosport in Canada. G'day Sandman.
G'day Mr. Kennedy, g'day everyone. Brilliant racetrack and definitely these guys are really going to turn it on for some great racing. 25 laps, can't wait.
Yeah, really looking forward to it tonight. It's going to be a great race. Always close racing here at Mosport. Always seen lots of interesting racing here, I guess you'd say. Really tough track to pass on. So we'll see a lot of, I guess, lunges and dives and touching and rubbing. All the exciting things we love, Sandman.
Yeah, and that's all in practice.
Just under four kilometres in length, this track, 10 turns, 25 laps. The no fuel stops this week. It's just an out-and-out sprint to the finish. Around about 35 minutes for the race length tonight. Interesting looking through the timing sheet. We've got a few debutants to the top split, or the main online race this week. We've got Matthew Hill making his debut. We've also got Mark Anderson, Sean Maher, and Corey Osborne as well, I think, making his debut. Chris Osborne already made his debut. He's up in P10, but Corey making his first race in the top split as well, I think.
It's actually good to see there's so many guys, making their way up through the field. It's really good. There's so much great racing, no matter what split you're in, but these guys, everyone aims to be in the top split, so well done.
Quickly run through the grid. Madison down, start from pole, as we said earlier in qualifying. Been the man to beat this week, all week. Hopefully he's trying to convert it into his first main Monday night win for the season. Justin Ruggie at P2, then Richard Hampstead, Vale Riches, Sean Kelly, John Emerson, Mitch McLeod, Michael Fabian, Mitch Abril, Chris Osborne. Then it's Hill, Kevin Jewell, Corey Osborne, Rob Hartley, Sam Collins, Simon Black, Mark Anderson, Marlon McMullen, Scott Fontaine, Marty Atkins and Sean Maher. Good to see Fonty back after his rollover in the Sprint Cup in New Zealand not long ago. Big moment he had in the New Zealand Sprint Cup Series. Big rollover. A lot of damage to his car. He actually said it's the first time he's rolled one of those, so I don't think he's been pushing hard enough. I thought everyone had rolled one of them that drives them. Thought that was a prerequisite. They're not far away from the drivers gridding up. Sorry, go Sandman.
I was going to say some pretty close times. You look at Ruggia 18.664, Hampstead 18.699, Vale Riches 18.797. Some pretty close times there, and I guess Madison had to go out and spoil it by nearly pipping everyone by sort of 1-2 tenths.
Whole field separated by a second and a half, so can't complain about how much the field, or how close the field is. I can't even work out what I'm trying to say.
Too many weeks off, mate.
Yeah, I know. We won't be doing that again, Sandman.
It's quite remarkable to think that Madison hasn't scored a Monday night win. We touched on a little bit that he won the earlier race, but he hasn't actually won the main race on a Monday night. So he'll be hoping to get that sort of monkey off his back tonight.
Before we get into it, big welcome, hello, regardless or wherever you're watching, whether you're watching through our V8sonline official page, whether you're watching us on our Facebook page, whether you're watching us on our live stream channel, whether you're watching us on a team page, or whether you're watching us on the V8 Supercar fan group page. Big hello to everyone out there in virtual TV land, I guess we are. Gridding up now, not far away from the race. Your pick tonight, Sandman.
Oh, those times pretty impressive by Madison, and he had real good pace in the earlier race, so I'm going to go for Madison.
Going to come down to who can get out of turn one first for me. So if Madison's in front at the end of turn one, he'll win this race quite easily. If not, and if Justin or Richard get ahead, I'm too hard to call.
So revs rise, these guys ready for 25 laps around Mosport. It's all about getting off the line, getting to a nice clean run into turn one. The guys are underway. Madison down doing a good job, but Ruggia getting some good pace on the outside there.
And Hampstead almost close enough to get his nose in the inside. Back in the pack, McLeod and Emerson side by side. A 3 wide, a little further back.
Jeez, look at Ruggier.
Fairly clean.
Ruggier and Hampstead side by side. They're battling it out up front.
Nice and clean too, giving themselves enough room. Ruggier gets ahead. Good start by Sean Kelly as well. The Supercar fan group team car.
We touched on it, just how hard it is to pass at this racetrack. These guys have really got their work cut out for them when it's all bunched up. It doesn't take much for a little bit of contact, but everyone's doing a great job so far.
And nice and clean, but look at the gap Madison Downs already pulled away.
Yeah, and the thing that really worked in his advantage was that side-by-side battle that Ruggier and Hampstead had. That he was able to hit his marks where these guys were side-by-side, so that's really helped.
Hampstead, Ruggier's run a little bit wide. Hampstead might think about having a lunge. This final corner is about the only spot on the track that you can pass without too much incident or too much controversy. McLeod up the inside coming into turn 1. This doesn't usually work.
Nice bit of give and take there between those two boys. Really, that could have been ugly. That nice bit of driving. Well done, boys.
Admiral thought about continuing around the outside of Emerson, but he decided to pull out of it quite quickly. And Fabian's got a bit of a run on Admiral.
It's really the nervous part of the race where all these guys are bunched up. Oh, a little bit sideways there for Emerson, but these guys are all bunched up, and you know, it's really critical to be nice and close to try and sneak some sort of advantage if anyone makes a bit of a mistake.
You guys with a bit of internet trouble too, as Emerson runs a little bit wide. Admiral up the inside.
Yeah,
we've got a car spinning in the background. It's Rob Hartley.
Emerson was very lucky not to lose a lot of time down that back straight.
Hartley, I'm not sure if there was help there, but he's just gone a little bit too committed by himself on the outside, a little bit into the grass, and that's nearly impossible to pull it up from out in the grass.
Up front, Hampstead really having a look at where Ruggier is. These guys are really, they don't want to get too much caught up in a battle because out front, Madison's just walking away a little bit on him.
Mitch McLeod having a few internet issues. His car's looking like it's rolled a couple of times there. He's what happens when your internet connection's struggling a little bit.
It's a shame.
Director's losing it a little bit there.
It can be quite distracting. I feel sorry for the guys that are racing around him because they're going to do their utmost best just to not make contact with him because it's actually quite distracting. You know, Emerson would be, you know, doing his utmost best just to keep it on track because it can be quite distracting.
Yeah, it's really tough. Lucky he's got a bit of a gap ahead of, a gap behind him to Emerson. Bit of a pack brewing. We've got on board with Matthew Hill ahead, Chris Osborne, Michael Fabian, Mitch Admiral, and John Emerson. Nice freight train, and even behind Hill, got Dual, Osborne, Collins, Fonte as well on the back of that as well. So almost a 10-car train going on here. Sean Kelly trying to get a move done on Vale Riches. The front three pull ahead. Quite a decent margin.
Yeah, it's all about track position. These guys have really had, you know, clear air. They've sort of had, you know, head down, bum up, and they're hitting their marks. And yeah, it's really showing in these opening laps where they're just pulling a little bit of margin on the others.
That lap around Madison a 1:19.4, Justin Ruggier a 1:19.5, Hampstead a 1:19.7. The rest of the field all 19.9s or 1 minute 20s. So a big difference in time between the front and the rest of the field.
And that margin that Madison's got is 1.3 seconds as we have a look at the battle with Kelly and Ritchie's.
This is for fourth. Kelly got a really good exit out of Moss out of the double right-handers.
He'd be
it's
loving
gonna be
that.
close enough.
Has he got a bit of a sniff of that draft? That's a huge gain when you've got that draft coming down that straight too.
Quite a big advantage.
Car looks good. It hooked up. Sean Kelly's car looks good. It's really sitting well, and even though he's got Richie's in front of him, his car looks really, really strong.
The big pack. This battle still a little bit further back in the field. Kevin Jewell and Corey Osborne at the moment 12th and 13th, but just ahead Matthew Hill and Chris Osborne.
I know I say it every week, but that's one of the things I love about our series. Regardless whether you're a front runner or mid-pack runner, there's great battles up and down, and these guys have just got themselves in a nice little freight train battle. It's actually brilliant.
With it being so tough to pass as well, it's going to come down to when someone loses their patience or when someone makes a mistake. Both of those can probably happen at the same time.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And all hell breaks loose then. Just see if we can go back up the front a little bit further. John Emerson, a lot of pressure being put on him by Mitch Abril at the moment. Abril looking nice and smooth. Emerson struggling, as he said when he was joining us for the pre-race. He's struggling a little bit for speed at the moment.
Yeah, some guys find it a little bit easier than others just to slip back into the race seat after a couple of weeks away. But don't forget too that Emerson's got McLeod's car that's bouncing around in front of him, that's which would be distracting.
Go back to this battle. This is 11th, 12th, 13th. Matthew Hill, a big drift. Kevin Jewell, Corey Osborne behind. Sorry, Sam, did well to hold that.
You're not wrong, he's got plenty of pressure behind, and that's the last thing you want when you get on the throttle. The thing steps out and then the guys start to swamp you. But he's doing a good job, but he's definitely got his hands full.
The early race, Sam, and you were actually involved in the big battle pack like this early with these guys.
Yeah, it was a great battle. They got the guy I managed to get a bit of momentum down that back straight and got a nice little toe and made a spot or so. So yeah, great racing with these guys. They race nice and hard all week, so it's really good to see that it's continuing on.
Go back up the front. Hale Richards, Sean Kelly. These guys are still going on now. Mitchell McLeod's internet connection is really struggling the moment, so he might not make it back into this race.
Don't forget, this is something that we've seen in events in past. You know, we talk about the Shane Van Gisbergen incident where he actually didn't get timed crossing over the line. So, fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. But,
wow.
Wow, you can see just how bad it is.
With his internet connection, his internet trouble, he actually gained a spot while no one was around him. So he didn't have to battle any other cars while he was having internet issues, actually pulling in behind Kelly because he knows it's impossible for those guys to drive with him around, jumping all over the track like that.
Oh, another one,
Madison's
internet connection.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be heartbreaking if he's lost connection. We spoke about that he hasn't had a win this season in the official race on a Monday, and the voodoo may have bit him as far as internet connection.
He's gone. That's
wow.
So unfortunate for Madison. Another incident with I guess you'd say it's a gearbox failure, or wow, this battle's still going on. This is Hill and Jewell still going on. Side by side, coming into turn 8, Hill with a massive drift. Madison down, unfortunate tonight.
Wow, that's unbelievable. 1.5 second lead he had over Justin Ruggier and Richard Hampstead, but hey, look, these things happen, and it really works into Justin's hands now, and Richard Hampstead now knows that if he can get past Ruggier, that's a race win right there.
Madison down, officially out of the race now. So unfortunate. The other driver out there, must be something with the Tats Falcons this week, the internet issues.
Yeah, real disappointing. But looks like, yeah, Mitchell's has stabilised a little bit now, which is good for him. But, you know, we touched on it before. We've seen Shane Van Gisbergen, who was leading, that just when his internet played up, he didn't get counted for a lap, and that was, you know, race over. So, but Mitchell's hanging in there, so lucky for him.
We'll go back through the field again now. Justin Ruggier now leads his race as McLeod into the fence. He'll have damage to the front of that car. Ruggier, Hampstead, Riches, Kelly and McLeod dropping back. He'll be back to about 10th or 12th. His internet connection's gone as well now.
Yeah, that all happened with that change of direction through those S's. But as we quickly look up front, Ruggier's definitely got his hands full. Hampstead all over him. But it was that change of direction. The car got away from him and fired him into the fence. So real bad luck there.
Justin's starting to make a couple of mistakes.
Yeah, I think I don't know if we caught it, but he ran wide on one of the turns and you know, really brought Hampstead right back into it. I don't know if he's just getting a little bit nervous, but Hampstead's got real good pace, and you know, Richard and Justin now know that this is for the race win. Now that, you know, Madison's had that unfortunate disconnect with internet issues.
Guy we haven't mentioned yet too much. Mark Anderson, debut race, and Robert Hartley coming back through the field. Really, really hard to pass, as we said. He's going to struggle to get a move done. We might see if we can go back up the front though, because 0.2 of a second, separating first and second at the moment.
Yeah, nothing in it. These guys know that they've got everything on the line now. They've got themselves a nice little margin back to Ritchie's, and it's 2.3 seconds back. So they can afford to dice it out and run a little bit side by side because they don't have to worry about anyone pouncing on them. But they both know that they've got their work cut out for them. Two really great drivers, and they're right on the edge.
A bit of a break for John Emerson, Mitch Abril, and also Sean Kelly, who was under a bit of pressure from McLeod.
It's amazing how this race has turned out, isn't it? You would have thought, you know, in those opening laps that Madison was just starting to walk away.
Hampstead, a bit of a moment into the entry into Moss. For the first part of the double right-handers. Now Justin's got a little bit of a gap. There's one little mistake, all it took.
He did a good job not to touch that dirt, because if you run wide and get off on the gravel, sometimes it's real hard to pull it up. So he did a real good job to hold on to that.
Closing the gap quite quickly down the straight though, getting that draft. Then across the line will be 10 laps down, 15 to go. Something's happened to Mark Anderson. He's the most unluckiest driver I've seen. It's 3 races this week that he's crashed out. And the exit of Moss there just might have been a little bit of a touch with Hartley. Now all by himself. Aaron a little bit too early and into the fence. That little touch is enough to do a massive amount of damage. To go back to the battle, this is now 9th and 10th after 2 guys that you would have expected right up the front. DNFs, McLeod and Down. This is 9th and 10th. Hill and Jewel. Great to see Euro driver out in the field tonight. Behind those guys, the Cars Are Us teammates battling on. Corey Osborne in the orange. It's Cars Are Us Falcon, and Sam Collins just behind. Fonte closing in on those guys as well. But Michael Fabian, he's dropping back through the field. He's got massive damage to the side of his car. This looks like he's coming into the pit lane, so something's happened to him. Massive damage down the left-hand side of his car. On the exit of Moss. Exit of Moss is where it's all gone wrong for him. Car's just got a little bit of air on the inside of the track. There's a little bit of a bump there, and then in the past a few drivers all hit the wall at that one spot. That's unfortunate for Michael. He was running very well. He was in 7th position. We go back live. Damien just had a little bit of internet trouble there too, by the looks. All happening tonight. Damien will be back in a moment. Adjusted, and Richard really struggling to pull away from each other. Richard trying to close the gap again. Justin trying to stretch the gap out, but as we saw in qualifying, his car really loose. I think you might be back now, Sam, man.
Fingers crossed that it's not only the tax boys that are having internet issues tonight.
This is 11th and 12th. Collins, Fontaine, Fonty nice and close. Not going to be able to get the move done at that spot though. It's really tough to pass into turn 2. Almost impossible to pass into turn 2.
Yeah, if you're going to make the move, you really need, you know, someone to cut you a bit of slack. But oh, it's getting nice and close. Really sticking the nose up on, but he's going to be on the outside if he gets the job done. But he'll just sit behind now, have a look to the inside, just move around a little bit in the mirror. But great driving between these two guys.
Great battles all the way through the field. That's one track that really promotes close, tight, interesting racing. We come to half race distance. We go back to the battle for 8th between Matthew Hill, Kevin Jewell. Hill taking the alternate line side by side into turn 8.
Doing a good job. Last thing you want to do is run too wide and touch that grass. But wow, nice bit of driving between those two.
12 laps to go. Fonty's got a bit of a run on Collins, side by side into 1.
Yeah, Collins will have
give
to
way.
Yeah,
Collins into the grass. Oh.
That was all Fontaine. He got the move done and did a good job, but Collins lucky not to fire it into the fence touching the grass.
Really easy to do as well, and then at 2 as well. I'm actually surprised no one's met turn 2 fence yet. I know we both met him a few during the week, Sam, man. And this is now the battle, the last spot on the podium. Val Riches, Sean Kelly. Those guys wouldn't have thought that earlier in the race.
No, it's amazing. Yeah, we spoke about how qualifying, you know, makes races interesting, but you just never know what's going to play out. Now, no one obviously knew that Madison was going to have those internet connection problems, and you know, people can have incidents.
More action side by side again. Coming to turn 8. Bill just can't quite get far enough ahead. Hill takes the spot back.
Hill's doing a good job
Great
to keep
racing.
his composure, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really doing a good job just to maintain his line and not get too aggressive. And person loving this, Corey Osborne, he's close right up behind these guys. Fonty will be looking at that ahead and going, oh, I want to be involved in this too. On board with Corey Osborne, looking ahead. You've got Kevin Jewell, and then you've got Matthew Hill just ahead, 8th, 9th and 10th. Osborne's going to get a great run here. Oh, a little bit too much power. Big sideways moment. He saw the exact same thing I think we saw, Sam, and he thought had an opportunity to get a move done up the inside and a little bit too much power.
Yeah, it's so easy to do. You just want to mash that throttle just so you can have that advantage down the straight. And unfortunately, the rear broke away and that was it. But he's still there, but just lost a bit of time.
Run through the field. Sorry, go, Sam, man.
Sorry, mate. I was just going to say, looks like things have stabilised a little bit between Ruggya and Hampstead.
Yeah, see if we can quickly run through the full field at the moment. Ruggya about 0.6 of a second back to Hampstead. There's a 2-second gap between those guys back to Vale Riches. Currently in 3rd position. Then it's Sean Kelly pushing along in 4th position. John Emerson, Mitch Abril still fighting it out. That's 5th and 6th. Now, Chris Osborne, a little bit of clear track for himself. And Matthew Hill, Kevin Jewell, Corey Osborne. This is that battle for 8th, 9th and 10th. Got Fontaine closing up very, very quickly. It'll be 8th through to 11th, 4-way battle in not too long. Sam Collins, P12, then Simon Black, P13. Robert Hartley in 14th position. Marty Atkins currently in 15th. And a few drivers look like they're having issues. Mark Anderson's dropped out of the race in P17 now. Sean Marr, and Michael Fabian, Marlon McMullen. And Justin's had a spin.
Big incident. What's happened up here? Looks like, there's been contact between him and Hampstead. Hampstead's had a bit of a look up the inside and made contact, and Ruggya's gone right round. Unbelievable.
And he had to back it up to get around as well. He almost didn't get it turned around, and he's now found himself back in 7th position. Wow.
And that's really close things up front. We don't know if Hampstead's got any steering damage out of that, but it's Hampstead with 0.6 of a second lead over Varichis, and Sean Kelly's right there. So all of these guys in with a shot to take the win with only a few laps to go.
Wow. I think we said at the start, Mosport always brings about exciting, interesting racing.
Geez, you would never have picked it. Down leading, a 1.5 second lead. The Tats.com Falcon falls out of the race due to internet connection problems, and then contact between Hampstead and Ruggya. Unbelievable.
And Hampstead looks like he's really struggling as well.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if there's some damage. You know, sometimes you don't get away scot-free when you make a little bit of contact. Go
back to the battle. This is 8th, 9th and 10th and 11th now. Sorry. Yeah, man, this is close as well. Justin Ruggya just ahead of these guys. It's less than a second separating 3 guys, less than 2 seconds separating the 4 guys. These guys are going to battle it out right to the end.
I just can't believe all the ups and downs that this race has had. You wouldn't read about it, would you?
Still 8 laps to go. We're still a long way from there. Now Hilly's lost a couple of spots. Ran a little bit wide at turn 2 and he's lost 2 spots. Almost off into the grass.
Yeah, just shot a little bit wide. A couple of cars stuck up and just touched the grass and the dirt, but managed to hold on to it. Great job. Very lucky. Oh, and he's gone off again too, Hilly, I think, just in the double right-hander.
Yeah, run a little bit too wide. Monty takes advantage, so he's dropped from 8th back to 11th, so not the best end to his debut race in the top race. But he's a pretty good competitor, so he'll push on. Side by side with Fonty.
Oh, Hill's on the outside though, so he'll have to be careful not to close the door, because it could end up, but it looks like he might have the inside if he can keep the car position.
Oh.
Not quite. He's still giving a red hot go though, but he'll be on the outside. Nice bit of driving there, and he's going to try. Oh, he gets on the power. Oh, he's lucky not to lose it. Great bit of driving there.
That was close to the pit wall. And Sean Kelly very, very close to our Vale Riches.
He's right there, isn't he? Like, I mean, he's so close there. He got both cars in front of him. He knows that if there's just a slight little change there, he can take a race win.
I don't think there'll be too much action between Vale and Richard. I think there'll be some team orders there, but anything could happen. We've already seen anything can happen in this race.
Oh, you're not wrong.
It's now 8th and 9th. Go back a little bit further. This is Hill on the inside. We've got Sam Collins now putting a lot of pressure on Matthew Hill.
He's had a good run down that straight, side by side. Wow.
Good bit of driving.
Hilly's done really well. Like, I mean, you know, he's been attacked many times through there, but he's kept his composure and held that line, and he's actually done pretty well.
Now Hartley's making his way back through the field. He's up to 14th and he's now looking for 13th on Simon Black. If we can look at P6 and 7, yeah. Osborne, Ruggier trying to get a move done on Chris Osborne, but Osborne doing a really good job maintaining that position.
Yeah, and although these guys had a bit of time difference in qualifying, it just goes to show, regardless of what times you can do, it's not one of the easiest places to pass. I mean, you know, you've really got to have yourself set up, maybe get a bit of a toe down these straights. But, you know, we saw Justin leading not all that long ago, but struggling to get past 6th position. You know, Osborne's doing a really great job.
One noticeable absentee tonight, Renz Brookman. Hearing rumours that he's already at the track ready for next week practicing, so keep an eye out for him. The track, his home track next week, Zandvoort. Another track that provides good racing. We'll have a pit stop next week, Sandman, so
yeah,
get excited.
Fantastic.
We go back to the leader in Hampstead. Now got that gap out to almost a second now, 8/10. Then another 8/10 back to Kelly, who's dropped off a little bit this lap around.
Yeah, just have a look at the lap times. Hampstead last time around 20.7, Vale Ritchie's 20.7, Sean Kelly 21.1. So yeah, just a couple of tenths.
Here comes Ruggier looking to make a move. Try and get a really good exit out of Moss, but I think he's a little bit too far back to try and use any draft.
Yeah, you can see that rear end moving around of Ruggier, just trying to get on the power just to take that draft, exactly like you said, but a little bit squirrely, and he'll have to try and set himself up for the next lap.
There'll be 4 laps to go when the front guys cross the line. Definitely an action-packed race once again, Sam, man.
Oh, you're not wrong, mate. Definitely wouldn't have picked it, and especially unfortunate contact between Hampstead and Ruggier. I know Hampstead would be wouldn't be too happy about it. He'd be a bit disappointed, but hey, that's racing. Sometimes you have.
Oh, Chris Osborne has a bit of a moment coming into turn 1. Justin almost close enough to pounce. I think Sandman's fallen off his chair. He's that excited. You right there, mate?
Yeah, all good.
Oh, Justin, massive drift coming out. He's trying to get the power down as early as he can. A little bit too early, I think, though. Losing a lot of time in wheel spin. Battles the whole way through the field. Robert Hartley trying to close that gap up on Simon Black to gain another position to get him back up into 13th position. This is the battle of the moment. Osborne and Ruggier, 6th and 7th.
Iracing's really moving around on the rears. He's probably hurt his tyres a little bit, and trying to have that red hot go. It's lap 23, so the guys haven't got that many laps to go now. So
Rob Hartley's finally got that move done on Simon Black around the outside coming down the main straight. That's an amazing move.
Not a bad effort.
That's the, as you were speaking about the draft, that's just, wow, that's an unbelievable pass. Sean Kelly's closing that gap back up again. Justin's had it off by the looks. Justin, yeah, run off the track at turn 4. Run off on the inside of the track and almost into the fence.
Wow, unfortunate. Well, it's nice just getting from bad to worse, isn't it? Yeah, that earlier contact, and he's still gathered up, he's still on track, but yeah, he's lost a lot of ground.
3 championship contenders with nights to forget. Rens Brookman decided not even to race this week. He doesn't enjoy the track that much. Justin Ruggier, night to forget. And Madison Down might as well have not put in as much effort as he did, which is really unfortunate. Deserved to win tonight.
Yeah.
It's still on for P2. Hempstead still maintaining that around about a second gap, but Sean Kelly looks as if he might have actually been saving some tyres for the end of this race and trying to push right for the end.
Yeah, that V8 Supercar Fan Group Falcon was half a second quicker than Val Ritchie's last time round. So, yeah, you're right, mate. He could have just been sitting back looking after it, and now he'll have a red-hot go.
It's all going to be on for this last lap. Lap and a half to go.
And Kelly's right there for that toe too.
One lap to go. Where will Kelly try and make the move? I think it's either going to be somewhere near Moss, down that big long straight, or the final corner. Could he make a dive at the final corner?
Yeah, I reckon it's all that run out of Moss. If he can get a good run out of there and have that toe, that's definitely where he's going to get the job done.
Vale's struggling for tyre grip, rear tyre grip on the exits, and Kelly can see that. Kelly looks a lot smoother in the car than Vale at the moment.
This is brilliant to watch. The top 3 covered by less than a second. It's fantastic.
Kelly trying to take a slightly different line. Close enough to get a move done. Oh, too much curb.
Oh, he's got a little bit sideways coming out of that turn, and that's it. That's killed his momentum. He really needed to be tucked underneath Val Ritchie's, but he'll still be overly impressed. Great drive by that V8 Supercar Fan Group Falcon for P3. At this stage, it looks like Val Ritchie's for P2, and Richard Hampstead, with that unfortunate incident earlier on, he'll take the win.
Yeah, I'm sure it won't be a win he'll be overly happy with, but definitely good for his championship aspirations to win his second title. Kelly not close enough to get the move done on Richard, so it'll be Richard Hampstead taking the win, round 10 at Mosport. Val Richards second, Sean Kelly in third.
Well done to John Emerson, who'll take 4th position. Did a hot lap for us earlier. Well done, mate. Mitchell Abril will take out 5th. Krista Osborne crosses the line 6th. Justin Ruggier, a night to forget, P7. Kevin Duell in 8th. Corey Osborne 9th. Scott Fontaine in 10th.
Yeah, Matthew Hill finishing 11th position from Sam Collins. Simon Black. Rob Hartley actually lost his position back. Simon Black, not sure what happened there on the last lap. Marty Atkins 15th, and Sean Marr and Marlon McMullen will be the last of the drivers to finish. Mark Anderson, Michael Fabian, Mitchell McLeod and Madison Down all did not finish. This is probably 2 key moments in the race tonight. Madison Down dropping out of the race with internet issues, and the incident between Richard Hampstead and Justin Ruggier.
Yeah, real shame. Obviously, that's something that we just can't take into our hands, is it? You know, internet connection for us is like having, I guess, an engine or a component failure or something like that. So, bit of bad luck there for Madison. Looked like he had the pace all week, but in the end it was Richard Hampstead over Var Ritchie's and Sean Kelly, the top three.
Madison's actually joined us now. Matt, not a night to remember.
Nah, walked out of the room pretty upset about that one. So yeah, to have the fastest car, the quickest in qualifying, and then reasonably good pace in the race, starting to build a gap, not really being challenged for the lead. Pretty disappointing when something out of your control like that takes a win away. So yeah, that's pretty much written off the championship for me now. Still haven't won a race now this season either. So yeah, disappointing.
It's something we touched on. We couldn't believe it. It must have been a tats.com curse tonight, mate, because Mitchell McLeod had his fair share of internet issues as well. But absolutely gut wrenching when you've been dominant all week and 2/10 up in qualifying, and then I think it was 1.5 seconds you had a lead there before you dropped out. Yeah,
that's it. I mean, the car was really good. I was just out the front saving tyres a little bit, cruising along at 9/10, and yeah, it all went pear-shaped. So yeah, really disappointing. That's going to make it a lot harder to fight for a championship now. But anyway, Richard and Justin were driving a great race, and well done to Richard on the win. Good drive.
Yeah, it was interesting race. Now, next week, Madison, you practice start now, or just let some anger out first, or hit a wall yet, or?
I think I went and slammed about everything in the house, but Yeah, let a little anger out. But yeah, I'll probably make a bit of a start tomorrow, and yeah, if I want any chance of winning this championship, I have to win next round. So it's important to have a fast car at Zandvoort, and hopefully we can achieve that. So I'll be doing a fair few laps to at least give myself some chance, and hopefully we don't have a repeat of what happened tonight.
Fingers crossed for your sake, mate. We know that you're better than what happened tonight, unfortunately, but all the best for the rest of the season, mate.
Thanks, Jay.
We've got Rob Hartley joining us as well. Rob, not a night to remember, but you did a good job coming back through the field.
Couldn't be dirtier with myself, really.
That was a nice pass you made on Simon, though. We were very impressed with that.
Oh, you know how it is. Throw it down, see what happens.
Nice move around the outside. I think it's the only pass we saw around the outside coming into turn 8, so it's good to watch.
Oh, good to do.
Also got Matthew Hill in here. Matty, not a night to remember. Your first race in the top split.
Yeah, it was very difficult. Very difficult. I'll definitely remember that one for sure. I come close to throwing it off the circuit in a couple of spots and had a lot of pressure, and I mean eventually cracked, but yeah, it was a great race and very clean with Kevin, Corey and Scott. It was really good fun.
Actually, one thing we spoke about, Matty, watching you drive, you had a lot of attacks down that down the back straight, but you did good. You held your nerve and you held your line, and you held them off there a few times, so it was really a nice bit of driving there.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, keeping the inside going into turn 8, as long as you get a good braking point, a good turn in, you can pretty much keep them out. But I really struggled getting out of that Moss corner, the last one going onto the straight there. It was very difficult for me to get the power down. Probably a problem with the nerves and the right foot and me sweating bullets. So
I'm glad you said that, Mr. Chocolate Man. I also got probably another disappointment. It's a sad and somber room in here tonight. Justin, not a night to remember for you either.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good, mate. Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome to you all, and all the best for the new year.
Thanks, mate. Another night to forget, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was. Look, we all knew that Madison definitely had the pace, the race pace, and the quality pace to win that race. But I knew I had a good fight to have second. Unfortunately, he dropped out, and then yeah, I was having a good run and made a little bit of a mistake up into the hairpin there, and Richard had a good run, and yeah, made a move and yeah, got me in the back quarter and spun me, and unfortunately he went on to win the race, and I'm down in 7th and got lonely points. So bit of a shame, but hey, guess what? It's part of racing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bad luck. We spoke about so many different things happening tonight. And obviously, obviously the bad luck that Madison had dropping out, probably would have thought things were looking up until, like we just spoke about, the unfortunate contact.
Yeah, definitely. Just a shame, I suppose. It's just the way you got hit. You know what I mean? It could have been a touch, and it could have stayed on the road, and he could have spun and ended his race. But I'm sure we'll cross paths again in another race or two and square things up a bit.
I'm sure we all know Richard as well. I'm sure he wasn't intentional from him, so I'm sure he'll be kicking himself, and I'm sure he won't be happy with it. We've also got Fonty and Fonty. Happy New Year to you, mate, and good job in the sprint cars at the moment.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, Jay. Yeah, no, it's been pretty good. It's been a long road, pretty busy over this Christmas period with all the racing and stuff. But no, it's good to get back online and race with all these boys. Certainly enjoy V8sonline on the Monday. It's good fun.
Before we talk about tonight's race, the first rollover you had the other night, yeah, okay from that?
Sorry, say that again.
The first rollover in the sprint car?
Yeah, no, I'm alright. A few bumps and bruises. Yeah, sort of had nowhere to go, man, and had a dirty. I was stationary. Had him at 100 k's, mate, and it was all on from there, really. But it's going good. Good fun.
Now, your race tonight, you happy with how you come through the field there? Not qualifying as well, so good result in the end.
Yeah, well, actually, I didn't do a lap all week, mate, so I sort of got home 5 minutes before. So, yeah, no, it was a good result. I just had to keep it clean. Justin sorted me out with a good set, so, yeah, no, pleased with the result in the end.
Top 10 from no laps, I think you should be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, it's good, mate. It's good. Hopefully I'll get a bit more practice in for these next few rounds.
Yeah, maybe do some more laps, Fonty, and you might win the next one.
No, cut it out.
Qualify as well, maybe.
Cut it out, boys.
You also got Hammer race winner tonight. Probably not a win that you'd like in the circumstances, Hammer, but helps your championship either way.
No, well, first off, I've just got to say a big sorry to Justin. That was just totally my fault, and it's just a shame he got caught up in it. Also, really bad luck to Matt. He was going to just walk this race, and just bad luck for him. But yeah, not much to say. Just yeah, happy for my team. They came second and fourth tonight. So yeah.
I don't know if Sandman's still here. Yeah, he is still here. Fallen off his chair once tonight, guys, so it's okay.
No, I didn't fall off my chair, but no, it was. I had my fair share of internet dramas too. I think it must have been a Tats.com curse. But anyway, yeah, definitely one of those races, Richard, where you were saying that Madison was quick. He was starting to pull away, and then things changed, and then it was the battle between you and Justin, and then after the incident, you definitely had your hands full a little bit there for first, second, third.
Yeah, well, it just bent my car a little bit. It was still like drivable, and I was able to do high 20s, but normally I'd be mid, low. So I was just keeping ahead of the guys behind, but yeah.
And championship-wise, that does help you maintain. Well, actually gives you the championship lead back from Renz Brookman after Ren's not here this week. All about consolidation of the championship for you from now on, Richard?
Not really. It's just still an open game, I think. Justin and Mad still have a pretty good chance, and Renz even. So I think it's really pretty close.
As opposed to next week, mate, do you start testing tonight, or you sort of have a couple of days off, or what's your strategy for the week?
No, not tonight. I think I'll have to drink away my sorrows tonight, but tomorrow, Wednesday, start practicing, and then try to get a decent set so we can get somewhere near Renz, who's probably going to walk it next week.
Oh, he's already there practicing. Don't worry, guys. Well, thanks heaps for joining us, guys, this week. It's good to be back, and look forward to talking to you all again next week.
Cheers. Thanks, Jay. And all the boys who put on this.
No worries, mate. It's our pleasure. We love it.
Cheers, guys. Good to have you back.
Good to be back. Sandman, thanks for joining us once again.
No worries, mate. Absolute pleasure. definitely, we spoke about some of the things that can happen throughout the race, and I think everything happened. We didn't expect it all, but no doubt the guys will regroup and everyone will start testing for Zandvoort, and we'll have a ripper race. 30 laps around there, the guys will have their work cut out, and we have pit stops again.
Yeah, looking forward to next week. Big thanks to everyone involved behind the scenes at V8sonline. Remember, tune in next week, 9 o'clock. We'll be from Zandvoort, 9 o'clock Sydney time, that is, next Monday night. Rens Brookman will be doing the hot lap around Zandvoort, the place that he basically lives at. He loves that place a little bit too much.
We got the right man for the job that way.
Yeah, that's right. And remember, tune in next week. Hopefully we'll have our big announcement next week in regards to our broadcast sponsorship. Fingers crossed it'll all be finalised and we'll be able to announce it all next week. You're watching the V8 Supercar official online series presented by Iracing.com, Extreme Sim Gear and Direct Clutch Services. Your winner of round 10, Richard Hampstead.